Yeah, you know how we talk about Pitt probably being RBU for the pros.
Yeah.
Watch out for this Hammond dude.
Serious.
Like we just lost to Banacanda.
Right. He was nice.
He was really
definitely nice,
nice.
bro.
I don't think we're gonna miss a beat. This Rodney Hammond dude's the truth. Yeah.
So you said running backs are replaceable even in college.
Well, you know what? I listened to a Jerome Bettis interview on Dan Patrick's show,
Yeah.
and that's what he brought up. No one's talking about this. He was like, honestly, I think this dates back like 10 years ago.
It was in college, bro.
Because college has gone so much more spread that they're not looking for Ricky Williams
you take
anymore.
receivers and you put
They're
them
not
in the
looking
backfield.
for Eddie George. They're looking for some scat bats,
Can you
guys that can
catch?
receive
Yep.
and have a ton of speed.
Yep.
So unless you're going to Georgia, Alabama, top 5 schools for the most part, it might be wiser if you're 6'2" and talented to go on the defensive side,
yeah.
as opposed to running back, because colleges are shifting more
Yeah.
to running back by committee, faster running back approach. Now, there's always outliers, but that was the point he was bringing up.
Yeah. I feel like unless you're like an elite talent, like one of those Najee, elite big body
Saquon.
talent, Saquon, like unless you're that, then it is what Bussy was just talking about. You are just a part of a group because they feel like they can easily replace you, and to an extent, they can. Because you even brought it up right there, man. I could get me a smaller scat back guy, and we could tempo you, zone read your RPO, you spread you out, and I'm getting just as much production with that. You know what I mean? Then if I got this big bruising back,
And you think the hashes are wider in college.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it really kills you in college. Yeah.
What was the other thing he brought up? Oh, man. I completely forget. It was a good point, though. It was a good point with this whole running back conversation. Oh, no. This is actually my own point. I was going to give it to the boss, but no. It's,
I about to say take credit for
it's
yourself.
my own
man.
good
put,
point.
Put, your,
Hey, I'm
put
not-
your name on your credit.
I'm
man.
not giving this to the
Put
boss.
your name on your
So
work.
here's the weird thing, though. Like, by him saying that, or even us agreeing to that, you would think that the running back pool in the NFL, like, there wouldn't be as much talent from top to bottom, right? But it's the opposite. Now, I don't know if you just would say the running back position as a whole is down, and that's why it's this way. But I was looking at the PFF running back rankings at like 27, 28, 29. They had good names. They had Zeke Elliott at like 28.
Yeah.
They had David Montgomery, I think, at like 31 or 32. David Montgomery, if like he stays healthy, he's 1,000-yard rusher. So that's 32.
But we say the same about if Zeke were to stay healthy.
No, same thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You could find good running backs at the bottom.
But can you find good, sustainable 17 game per season that you can count on running backs at the bottom?
They all got that
you
chance
said-
to get hurt.
yeah,
that's my
that's-
thing. So would you rather pay a guy in the top 5 rankings, the 12, 13, 14 million, or get a Dave Montgomery for 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Dave Montgomery's proved he could be a really good running back for you.
Yeah. And if I don't need him to be my main guy, just a part of it, because I'm only paying him 2, and I got another guy that can get 2 to be a bruiser, another guy that can get 2 to be something else. Now I got this collective back there for 6 total. Man,
So
if
that's
my
what-
coordinator can scheme it the way he needs to, we all right.
Yeah, so that's what I was wondering. Do you just think the
Yeah.
running back position as a whole is worse than what it was 10, 15 years ago? Like, the elite guys aren't as good as the elite guys back then, but I don't think that's the case.
I don't. Because I feel
Like
like guys
Derrick
are still
Henry,
nice,
those
yeah.
dudes are
I feel like
nice.
the guys are still nice. I just think that it's literally what we were talking about. It's just like, it's too much supply. It's just way too much supply right now. And that's just simple economics.
But that wouldn't make sense based off the Bussy principle of like more guys are willing to play other positions.
No, it still would, because just because you're going to play another position doesn't mean running backs are obsolete. They're no longer there. He's just saying there's a different style of running back that people are targeting. And think about now the NFL game and how it
They've
is
shifted
really
more college.
similar to college now.
Yeah.
We used to be, it still has to be super physical. Now it's almost rare when we talk Pittsburgh and how we play, Philly and how they were playing, because everybody is scat, speed, space. So it does kind of fall in line with what we're seeing, because you don't see a ton of Najee's or big bruising physical downhill running backs. You're seeing a lot more of the Saquons or the Bijan, like we just talked about, Bijan going 5th overall, right? So to me, I think that is the trend, and it probably won't stop unless we see at the collegiate level that shift. But for colleges, they found out, or in terms of the offenses, man, that defense isn't going to be able to spend enough time to keep up with us snapping this ball 100 times a day. They're not going to have enough calls. They're not going to be able to have audibles. They're not going to be able to, because just sheer timing of it. They got to go to class. They can't operate the way that we can on the sideline. And on offense, what do? We can hold this card up. We can get you all this other stuff. Defense is just a lot more moving pieces, a lot more stuff, how you communicate to cover it. So that's why the scoring is a lot higher typically. That's why it's a lot harder to find a good college DB at times, because it's like, man, it's a different thing of what y'all are being asked to do versus the way that the game is played at that level right now. So it is pretty similar when you talk about the NFL level. Offenses are getting better and better, and finding corners are getting harder and harder, right?
Yep.
It's interesting though, man. It's interesting. But shout out to Bussy though. I did like that. Does make sense though, man. Yeah.
He was dropping some knowledge.
Because if you're a big back right now, bro, go to defense. Yeah. If you athletic enough to play running back, you athletic enough to play linebacker. Can you rush the passer?
They're starting to get phased out too.
You got to be. I was gonna say, can you rush the passer? Can you cover? Which one can you do? As long as you can do one or the other, you're all right. If you're just a 100+ tackle guy, you're gonna need to add a little something else. But 100+ tackles still get you paid. Think about that. 100+ tackles still get you paid. You get paid dang near starting running back money.